Good morning. My name is Gina. I'm 27 years old and a 2-year breast cancer survivor. Today I'm going to share my story about how cancer saved my life and a couple of powerful lessons I learned in between. Made me cry too. My journey began on a rainy day in October 2006, a day that I like to call my rebirth day. Some people may think a day of diagnosis for a life-threatening disease would be the worst day of someone's life, and I like to think of it as one of my greatest. My diagnosis couldn't have come at a better time. A few years prior, we were completely upside down, and I was suffering greatly. I had lost my dad, who at the time was my best friend. I battled a debilitating addiction and was severely depressed. I had even contemplated suicide on more than one occasion. I was living at home with my mom, not working, and doing my best to get my life back on track, and then I found a lump. They say when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on, and I was surely at the end of my rope. The next couple of months were a whirlwind of surgeries, doctor's appointments, chemo treatments, and Neulasta shots. I looked in the mirror and had no idea who was looking back at me. I had been known as the girl with beautiful hair that should be in Pantene commercials, and the girl with killer long eyelashes and perfect eyebrows, and now all that was gone. I knew this would be the hardest battle I would ever have to fight, and the pain and discomfort physically was nothing compared to what was happening to my mind and spirit. I would hear people say bald is beautiful, and I wanted to slap them. I didn't think bald was even remotely beautiful, and I was sure that if they were the ones that had no hair or eyebrows, they wouldn't think it was beautiful either. Everything that I had been told made me pretty disappeared, and I had nothing left, or so I thought. I learned through those months that despite looking like Uncle Fester, I was beautiful. I learned the deeper meaning to bald is beautiful. It's not necessarily literal. It's beautiful because it represents our beauty inside. It represents the fight and determination we have as human beings, as daughters, and as friends. It represents our spirit. We are not our hair. We are not our eyebrows or eyelashes. We aren't our clothes or our cute shoes. We are complex, remarkable people. Strip us from all that stuff and we're the same inside. None of these things actually matter. This is an amazing lesson. A cancer diagnosis can do one of two things. It can make you or break you. Luckily, I had already been at my breaking point and had nowhere else to go. I had wanted to die so many times in the years prior to my diagnosis, and now here I was looking death right in the face. My wish could either come true or I could take it back altogether, and I decided to take it back, all of it. I decided to take my power back, my strength, and my dignity. Questioning your mortality puts a lot in perspective. I started to see that things weren't so bad, that I wasn't as weak and powerless as I had thought, that I deserved happiness and I would get it. I learned a very simple yet powerful lesson, that you have a choice in life. You can either choose to be happy with what you have or you can choose to be miserable. And all my life, I subconsciously chose to be miserable. My cancer diagnosis woke me up. I would no longer live the way I had been. This was my second chance at life, and I wasn't going to take it for granted. Still being a true believer that everything you do has a cause and effect, and everything that happens to you happens for a reason, I decided upon my diagnosis that the reason I got cancer in the first place was to teach me a lesson. I had never anticipated, however, there would be so many blessings in disguise, and I am eternally grateful for all of them. Sure, an easier route would have been preferred, but I always learned the hard way. The past 2 years have been amazing and heartbreaking, and I have met the most wonderful women, a lot of them who are here today, and some who have passed on, leaving only their story as their legacy. Through this journey, I have become someone I can be proud of. I used to fight kicking and screaming and learned to ride the tide instead. I've learned to love those that are here with me now and remember those who have passed rather than holding on to what could have been. And most importantly, I learned to find happiness in everything I see, do, and feel. I will never again let situations, circumstances, disease, or depression take away the greatest gift of true happiness. No one knows what the future holds, and the more you try and fight it, the weaker you become. And I find strength in knowing that I appreciate every moment that I have. With that being said, I want to thank the one person who has been by my side through thick and thin and loved me anyway, my mom. I totally cried. Thank you for holding my head up when I couldn't and for loving me when you shouldn't. Thank you for washing my hair after surgery and shaving my head before chemo. And most of all, thank you for teaching me what the world had to offer and what happiness can be. Love you, Mom. My name